If there is a final thing to say, it's that we have to care as a world, we have to care as a humanity in order to save it. It's not a case of, well, nature will take care of it because you have destroyed lots and lots of nature. It's not a case of chains of life are going to protect us. You've destroyed a lot of those. It's not a case of, God is going to just intervene and change everything because that's what you want, because the end result is that this is a human caused problem. Every part of every piece of every extinction threat that we face is human caused. Most of it by the university, but of course it's all a part of humanity decided they wanted them to be God. And you let them lead you to the abyss of failure and fantasy and a curse upon the entire earth, which is, human hatred and human arrogance and human want and human apathy and disrespect and everything that, of course, the university does. Doesn't make everybody with a diploma bad, doesn't make everybody without a diploma good. It just means that there's a crisis of human degrading life itself. You degraded life with the university delusion that evolution could replace God, that they could replace God. They cannot. And evolution does not do anything more than lie to you. They stole your soul, because your soul is the recognition that we are miracles, not anything less, not anything more. We are miracles created by God. And that means that there's nothing on this earth that could possibly have created a human life. Nothing. It is a lie to believe in evolution. It is an outright lie to, in everything that the university does, that describes evolution as their God. It's their religion. It's nothing more than that. It's just their religion. And you can believe whatever you want to believe. Anything. You can believe anything. It doesn't matter what. It's your belief. You can believe whatever you want. But that doesn't make it true. So we have to go back to truth and reality. We have to understand that the evidence must decide for us. We can't decide for ourselves. If you decide that you're the judge and you can decide anything and everything and all things, and humans and every possible decision is yours, and you're just the God of life and what have you, you're just a liar. You can't do that. Truth decides, because truth is the evidence of what reality will do. It is the basis of all law, and all law is the creation of justice and fair play and the future that we can decide upon. We can't decide upon anything that is a lie. We can't decide upon anything that is a fantasy or delusion, as you have been doing. It's all a lie. It is, it's all a lie. We can't survive the ignition of nuclear fire, which is how the sun operates. For a fact, all we know for sure that that could possibly power the sun. There is nothing else. We know that. We know that. Certainly isn't, gasoline up there. Certainly isn't burning hydrogen up there. None of that. None of that. We know, just like we know that evolution is a lie, that it is an atomic power that powers the sun. We know what an atomic bomb can do. That's an explosion, and it is so very, very different than a fire, as you know, on this earth. You know the difference between an explosion and a fire. And you know that we cannot control fire so very, very little. We could do much better than what they're doing with the fire fence and so on, but of course the university doesn't allow for that, because it doesn't make them God. They want you to be destroyed so that they can have complete power over you, because those who have the resources that you must have to survive control your life, and they get to be king, or they get to be queen, or they get to be God to you, because if you don't get what you need to survive, then you have to die. So they want you to be fully dependent upon them. That's, of course, just the leadership, the elite hiding behind the doors and the laboratories and the places where nobody goes, so that they can be in secret in control of you. But of course they want money, as money is the power to make other people do what they want to do. So we have to remove their money with bankruptcy. They have made themselves bankrupt. They have taken all the value and all the resources out of the money, out of the securities of this particular nation, and no doubt most, if not all, of the world, because that's what they do. They steal it. And of course, having stolen it, there is nothing of securities, nothing of resources that are left for them to steal. So they want to kill you instead. That's the basis of what they're doing. That's the basis of gathering up all the diseases that are possible to find in the universities and that spread throughout the world. And the end result of it is that they want the worst of the worst of the worst, so that they hope to create a vaccine for themselves so that they can kill you, and once you're dead, they have the rest of the world to themselves. They just have to hide until all the diseases of all your dead bodies will dissipate, so they think. But it won't be so. But they don't know that, and they're, as Satan would be, Satan is. So Satan just means the arrogance, apathy, and disrespect for all life on earth that allows them to judge you. And of course, judgment means that they're eventually going to play God with you, because every judgment is for the purpose of playing God. And that makes the righteous an unfortunate group. So the end result of it is that we have to make a decision. You have to make a decision to care about life, all life, not just human. You have to make a decision to care about the planet and the plants and the insects and the snakes and the turtles and the aquatic creatures and the fish and everything. You have to make a decision that these are miracles and they deserve our respect, and not only our respect but our tolerance and our hope for them as well as us, because you don't actually know what is or is not of value to this world. You don't actually know what is or is not that critical key, that critical ingredient that allows you to live. And you don't know what part of the chain that once it's broken kills off all the rest. There's a food source that grows underneath the ice in the Arctic and the Antarctic. Primary food source for all of the life that grows there. Grows underneath the ice in the freshwater, and the freshwater area between the freshwater and the saltwater grows there. No ice means no food. No food means the entire ecosystem collapses. That's the price of what your global warming will do. You have to, 10 trillion tons of poison, I'm sure. After all, you see, they claim that, farmers used to do that. I believe. Stick my hand in it. I'm good. I didn't die, but of course most of them actually died of cancer and what have you later on. It took years, but most of them actually died from it. So the end result of it is that that you can't. It does matter if you start pouring poison everywhere. It does. And like so many things, maybe not the first day. It's like cigarette smoking. Maybe not the first day. Well, it can't kill me. But 40 years later, it's a different story. It took 40 years. And of course, the COVID vaccine, we don't know what it's going to do yet. Might take 40 years, might take 10, might take 50, might not hurt you. Might. But then we don't know, because it's a human body, and the human body has so many variables to it, so many very intricate things, so many balance points, so many moments of, a billionth of a second matters, so many things, and none of it is what they know. None of it. They don't even know that it's an orchestra instead of a damn step. One point at a time kind of thing. They're just absolutely insane. They couldn't be more insane. And you are insane for letting them mutilate life on Earth. You are insane for believing in evolution. You can't believe in evolution. That is for liars and traitors and thieves and cheats and whores and bastards and fools and terrorists. As is, the constant of what they've been doing. Look around you. If it was all good, we wouldn't be standing on the edge of extinction. And you say, well, I look around, I don't see extinction anywhere out here. No, sir, I'm good. I got all I want more. More. But the end result, of course, is that we're going to get more. It's a finite world. Where are you going to get more? It's a finite world. And at 8.2 billion people, we stand on about 1 person per acre. And that acre has to feed you. And it has to feed, and that includes grassland and grazing land. And you can't just plant grazing land to a crop because you don't have the rainfall, you don't have the fertilizers for that. You're going to run out of fertilizers. It's going to, everything is collapse on you. They're ruining the seed, ruining livestock, creating pandemics in the ocean. Everything is going to be lost because it does matter. And of course, you believe that the universe is somehow protecting you, but it's just like the water survey people of the state of Illinois, which I went to and said, how the elevator close by wanted to have an ethanol plant, and says, how much water is there for an ethanol plant? And they said, not even enough. In 3 years' time, they'll have drained the entire aqua system, and of course, then the aqua system falls, and it falls into itself, and it no longer exists, and all those people that are dependent upon it, 1 million or so people that are depending upon that aquifer, would be out of water. Have to move, because without water, you can't stay. That's just the facts. And I said, well, why in the hell don't you tell them that? I says, we can't, because if we do, we'll lose our jobs. And of course, 3 people, the lives or the jobs of 3 or 4 people or whatever it was down there versus millions that they were going to lose their whole situation, the whole living there, everything, hardly compares. But of course, they wanted their job, and they wanted their pension, and so on and so on. But the end result is you can't depend upon the university for anything, because the end result of the university is greed and selfishness and pride and power and all the things that take away from life itself. They're worthless. In real terms, a university diploma just means that they memorized what we're told to believe. They mimic what they were told to say, and they repeat what they're told to do. That's what a diploma is. There's no such thing as trying to learn how to think or some such thing as that. That is absolutely for fools. It is an indoctrination program for the cult. And it is, of course, very effective. Take a look around. The entire government is filled with a diploma. Media is filled with diploma. The courts are filled with a diploma. Everything is filled with diploma. That is called leadership. And every part of every piece of everything about this United States of America is they stole it all. They stole it all. There is nothing left that they didn't steal. There is no future for you here. They stole it all. They completely destroyed the primary things that give us, a function of society. They destroyed all the tools. They gave them away. They gave away everything to hide their lies, to hide their theft, to hide their terrorism, to hide the anarchy of displacing democracy with communism as is. Let the expert decide. That's what communism is. Just a tiny few people decide everything for everybody. And of course, that's what the cult is too. Only the few people decide. Only a few leaders make all the decisions, and don't you dare question the leader, because they are God. So, we need to review everything. And you all say, I don't want to. I got bills to pay. I don't want to. But the end result is you're either going to do it or you're going to die, because there is a cost to all the things that you have been throwing away. There is a cost to all the garbage that you throw away. There is a cost to believing that there's enough fertilizer for the next 50 years or 100 years or whatever it is. And there is enough, the cost to overpopulation. There is a cost to everything. Every truth has a consequence. Wake up. Your life depends upon it. And so does your child, and so does everything else that you might find valuable. In other words, you have to respect the idea that we are a living, breathing population on this planet, and this planet is our home, and we must protect our home.